Nadine's Corner is in the city of Cape Town. Come join me. Welcome to another episode of Nadine's Corner presents. The location's different though. It is in Cape Town and not Gqeberha this time. And first of all, welcome to another episode. Secondly, if you do not know this dynamic individual, what are you doing with your life? Like, what have you been doing with your life? So I have the privilege and the honor of sitting next to Loyiso Bala. And you can go to his Instagram and actually just see his whole portfolio there. Okay, I'm just saying. So thank you for joining me today.
If you go to my Instagram, you'll like see my whole life. Because everything is there right now. When you called me, I was like, man, I just wanted to just post this quick story so people can know where I am.
Of course.
Because that's just the life where we are, you know?
Of course.
That we're living right now.
You should watch his reels, really funny reels. Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok. My wife is actually on TikTok. I mean, like, she's like, she got so many followers on that thing. I didn't even think it was possible, you know? So she does a lot of the TikTok videos. She's tried to get me to do some. But yeah, I just can't quite find, the thing, because you need to find a thing. Like, I'm gonna be like, girl dad, and then I need to put hashtag girl dad, and then try and do those ones. So in time. But I'm a busy guy.
You are.
Because we should have been meeting in Gqeberha since we're both there, right?
Yeah.
We're from there, and I mean, obviously, I live there now. But yet here we are. Here we are in Cape Town and doing this from here.
He said it, Cape Town. Cape Town. I'm just saying. You are obviously here with an objective in its entirety, and it's called the Jesus Collective South Africa.
Yes.
So you've been in it for how many years?
Since actually 2013. So before it even had a name, Hilton had asked me he's like the founder of the Jesus Collective. I'd met him sort of like that year or the year before, and he wanted to do something special back at home. His mom was still alive then. Sort of just on the field, do like some evangelical work, and I knew some artists, some guys who were obviously in the gospel space. I was new to gospel then as well, and so I invited the guys over, and then it wasn't just that once, but then it happened every year, but then it was like 2-3 times a year, and then it was like every second month. And then one day we were busy chatting, I think around 2016. I said, do you know when I look at this, man, I see it as like a collective, because we've kind of become a family with people that were coming to be part of this, of these sort of evangelical ministries, like these music concerts that we were doing. And so Hilton said, well, in that case, I'd probably say Jesus Collective, because obviously at the center of it. And so right there and then, Jesus Collective was birthed, given a name, and we kind of feel like, just God just brought people from all over. Either we were with a band, and there's one guy who really sort of stuck out, and along the way people have just joined, not just well-known musicians, but just all of us. So for instance, if you look here at everyone right now, you can't tell who's like, who are the superstars, who are the people, who are the unknowns. You won't even tell who's the guy that's in the band or the guy who's just serving, because we're really just like a family. And we just fill the gap where the gap is needed. There are times when we're doing like a performance, I'll call it that, so people can understand. And I won't even go up on stage, or somebody else may not go up on stage, because that moment didn't call for that. So that's what it is. But I know that by having been there to support the guys, to make sure that, like, if people fall, they get caught. It was worth me flying from Joburg at the time. You know what I mean? I was still a part of it and involved one way or the other. This is not a singing group, but it's a family of people who want to make a difference to other people out there.
I love that. It's so mission driven. It's so visionary driven as well. The other thing I wanted to ask you is obviously the conceptualization of music being written, and then the execution phase is important. So how important are these, I think, conceptualization downtime, if you can call it that?
So I mean, like, I was never one to write with others, but I have seen the value of it. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think it's better that one writes music with other musicians than to write on their own. Unless, of course, you're Stevie Wonder and everyone is like, what are you doing? Like, what is this thing? You know what I mean? But really, for the fact that when it comes to worship music, when it comes to gospel, you want to be in the moment that you want people to be in when you're eventually performing those songs. Do you know what I mean? So for instance here, like I'll come with the song, I'd say, guys, you know, I've got this beautiful sort of worship song, and it's a beautiful worship idea. And then that song will then be written in a place of worship. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't take people where you haven't been. So and I know this sounds so Christianese right now, and I hope people are going to understand, okay? But you can't take people to the throne room from outside the throne room. Do you know what I mean? So we have to all kind of be in one mind and be in the place where we want people to get to. Obviously not here, but like sort of the atmosphere we want them to get into. And so we have to be in that atmosphere at that time, you know? Or else we're just throwing people in where we haven't been.
I think internally it also creates a sense of accountability as a team to bring one mission to the extent.
Absolutely, and also we challenge each other. Like someone will say, you know, like this word, and then someone will say, I don't know, that sounds a bit cliche. And usually when you're writing on your own, I mean, it's just, a lot of times it's just cliches after cliches because you don't have time, you know? And so this is also just a part of us just taking ourselves away from home, from our comfort zones, from all the busyness of where we come from, and to come to a place, you know, to a beautiful place like this where we're not looking at time. We go to lunch when we're hungry, we sleep when we're tired, you know? For some of us, we sleep a little bit earlier than others because we're not all Nadine's age, okay? And so, you know, the creativity flows as it needs to flow. Because you can't say, I want to be creative right now. You need to have a special moment. So it's awesome because when one is sort of hit a wall, another one, you know, like they're beginning to pick up. And so, you know, that greatness never really quite stops.
Speaking about greatness, you've been balancing that. Your portfolio is very diverse at this moment. The other thing as well, you moved literally to Gqeberha. Yes.
Yeah.
He moved to Gqeberha.
I did.
With his whole family and from Johannesburg.
Yeah, from Joburg.
So it's been, and the SABC, the radio, the MBA. Guys, the portfolio just diversifies. How have you independently still stayed concrete and non-negotiable when it comes to your career or your persona within the entertainment industry?
So I mean, I guess when you say how do I still stay sort of, I mean, like with my feet on the ground, right, and still doing what I need to do, there's certain inspirations that I have in my life. I think if it was not, for instance, for my family, I would probably have totally burnt out because I want everything, I want to achieve everything, whatever is possible. Do you know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. But I've learned that, you know, take things in stages. Don't do everything at once, but you've got to do something. You know what I mean? So yes, I understand there's a time to wait, but wait is not, it doesn't mean don't move forward. You know? What are you waiting on? You know what I mean? So like for instance, for those who are waiting on the Lord, right? And is it what is it again? That scripture 33 verse 3. Matthew 33 verse 3, you know? Be still and know that I am God. There is a knowing of God in that stillness. Do you know what I mean? You know, all those who wait upon the Lord. It's so whatever you're doing, let's say for instance, like, you know, like you're waiting to get accepted, right? Into a university, into a program, whatever that is. Do something in that time that you wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and eventually, like I think, because I keep on moving forward, before I know, I look back, I'm like, wow, look how much I've done in these, you know, like in these few years. I woke up at 36. That's a few years ahead of you right now, okay? And I said, oh my goodness, I don't even have a qualification. I'm looking at 40 now, and who knows if I'm still gonna want to sing, because they've been making me sing since I was 12 years old, you know, even 7 years old. And so I only went to varsity at 36 years old. But then at 40 or 41, okay, I had my postgraduate diploma, I had my MBA. To those people I was graduating with, it was if I'd been doing this thing for a long time. Because once you achieve something, it doesn't matter when you started. Do you know what I mean? And so 42 now, obviously serving as an executive for the, you know, for the SABC, that people had been there for like 15, 20 years. and not, you know, like, and not necessarily why I am. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. Also at the same time, don't ever think that it's too late. We used to laugh at guys, you know, sometimes because they were finishing matric at 21, and most of us finished at, like, you know, we're like 18 years old in class. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, okay? So what happens to me when I'm tired, okay? And but quick one, right? So someone finishes, let's say there was a guy who was 21 years old in class, right? And I'm 18. I mean, those guys just look old when they're 21, 22, you know? You don't get that anymore now, right? And you know, you're like, he's so old, he probably like repeated this grade and this grade. But that guy, 22, went to varsity. By 25, he had a degree. Carried on. By 26, he had his honors. Carried on. By 28, he had his masters. To get my point, me, I took a 4-year break. But before you know, that same person I was laughing at, thinking that like they're going to be so delayed in life, actually ended up achieving things way before I did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, because circumstances obviously make you, they can delay certain things that you want to do, but it's never too late. It's never too late to do what you wanted to do, or what you feel in your heart is the, you know, like, is the thing that you should be doing.
I personally want to thank you for posting your MBA, because I'm doing my honors in...
Get out of here, Cam.
So I'm doing my honors in business development and communication science.
Are you
So
serious?
understanding birth dynamics.
Yeah.
You know? So when I saw you post the MBA, I was like, you know what, maybe I should do my MBA after
Sure,
my
because you should be like, if he can do it, come on.
You know? So I graduated at the end of this year, and then I think I'm going to do my MBA. So thank you for
Yes, awesome. Well,
for
you let
posting
me
that,
know.
like-
You let me know if I need to, need any help.
Yes.
I'm a great tutor, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, while we have the moment, thank you for posting us.
Thank
because
you.
I was like, my honors, you know, and then I was like, no, maybe I should just do the MBA.
Just do it. I'm telling
You
you.
know?
Just do it. Before you know, it's going to be over.
And I don't have kids, so I don't have an excuse.
That's
You
no
have
excuse
like
at
3
all.
kids, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, so I did it with kids, and I must say, I think if I didn't have kids, I would have probably been busy. I would have found something else to be busy with. But because I had kids, I knew that I had to make time for the MBA that I wanted to do. So I feel in a way that, yes, although it minimized my time, I had to be very clever with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but this definitely is the right time.
Thank you. The other thing is, I want to ask you, don't you feel overwhelmed? I think so many people look at you and aren't you overwhelmed with everything? And everyone that aspires to be where you are at, they probably see the diversity of your portfolio with so many options, but also so many responsibilities. So what do you have to say to someone that I think criticizes you from that point of view? We're like, how do you not feel overwhelmed?
So you mean like when they criticize me about what I do?
Doing everything and you're exhausted. And they're like, how is he saying he's exhausted?
Let
but
me
he's
tell
doing
you,
all of this.
the biggest critic of myself is probably me. Do you know what I mean? I used to care about what people think, because I guess in a way I thought that my career depended on people and their views of me. And really a lot of the times, like, when you worry, is not because they're seeing the mistakes in you, or they say, or like they're stating what's wrong with you. Is because people just like sort of misunderstand you. But then again, like, that has always been my life. I mean, a day I'll hear someone say, oh wow, I didn't think that you were this kind of a person. Oh, I thought that you were full of yourself. Oh, I thought that you were quiet. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I thought that, which means that, like, there's always some sort of a mental picture that people have of me because they meet me before they, before they do. But you know what? I have too much on my plate, to worry about that stuff. Only the people close to me do I care about what they think, because it means that it affects them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so that's what it is. I try to make peace as soon as I can. I try to get things out. You know what I mean? As soon as possible. But otherwise, no, I don't really. It doesn't really bother me anymore.
And people that look up to you, what do you have to say to that young girl or that young boy?
To that young boy or young girl out there who looks up to me. You see, I was not even aware that I even, out there, it's as simple here. Like, if you feel it in your heart to do it, and then just commit and do it. you know, because the only voices that are going to stop you are those who don't believe that you can, and so they think that they think they're cautioning you, and you'll hear words like, listen, I've been here before, but you know what, look to them and say what I used to say, which is, please just let me fail on my own. Let me fail. So I never used to say let me win, I used to say let me fail, because the biggest failure in life is to not have done something that you had felt in your heart to do and to be blaming other people for it. And usually those people are the ones who had convinced you that you shouldn't do it before. So I want to make sure that, like, when I'm old and I've got some regrets, that the person that I'm mad with is myself and not anyone else.
That's beautiful. Allow yourself to fail and fail forward.
Yes. Like, listen, can I just fail for once? Like, how awesome would that be, you know?
Yeah.
Instead
totally.
of not being sure whether I would have won or failed in this thing I wanted to do.
Where do we find you? How do we book you? How do we get a hold of you?
I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. Everyone says that stuff, you know what I mean? Man, just go to I guess Instagram, you know, DM me there, Loyiso Bala, which is my name. There's so many Loyisos now.
He's the one with the blue tag. He has that many followers, okay?
Oh, listen, there's another Loyiso. There's India Ari Loyiso.
No, man.
Shame, my
You'll
good
see his
friend.
face on his profile.
Yes, yeah. So I'm there on Instagram, I'm on Twitter as well. I think actually, you know what, I am so inactive. Inactive is not active, right? Okay. It's like, what? NBA? NBA inactive, you know? If you are on Twitter and you want to DM me there, I'll probably see it before I do the, do the Instagram, you know? Because on Instagram, I've got to go to that other thing, like, if people are not following me but have sent, and I don't go there very often. But otherwise, yeah, hit me up on social media, and yeah, let's chat, yeah.
Yes, he does answer DMs, apparently. I'm not sure, but if he doesn't,
I do.
take
I
it
answered your
personally.
DM, didn't I?
Don't be putting that up on here. You can cut this out, right? But anyway, he actually does answer, guys. Thank you, Loyiso.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And all the best for
Thank you.
like 2022.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's a wrap. Nadine's Corner presents. We're out of here. Bye.